everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And the fun thing that we're trying to do today is we are playing Dreadhorde Aggro. So Jund is black, red, and green. And we have some super fun cards to be playing in this deck and actually have a turn 3 combo. I'm sure you guys are going to be running into this a lot. So I wanted to do the deck before it got a little too boring because I missed that out with like mono red, a couple other ones beforehand where I feel like I still want to at least showcase these decks on my channel. But at the same time, we're going to be getting to a lot more janky stuff as this set goes on. So first off, Dreadhorde Butcher has haste. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player or a planeswalker, put a +1/+1 counter onto Dreadhorde Butcher. Whenever it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. So what we can do with this card is on turn 2, we swing with Dreadhorde Butcher, it gets 1 point of damage and it gets a counter. So now it's up to 2 power. Then we get to swing in the next turn. Before it does damage, we Colossus, give it 6 power. It hits in for 6. They're down 7 points of damage. It gets a counter, and then we thud the Dreadhorde Butcher at their face. We get to do 21 points of damage altogether because it does 7 damage when it dies and 7 damage because of thud. So overall, we get 21 points of damage on turn 3. So that is a possibility with this deck. We are only running 2 copies of thud in this because we aren't all in on that combo. We want to be utilizing other cards in this set, like Krenko, 10 Street Kingpin. Whenever it attacks, you do a +1/+1 counter on it, then create that number of 1/1 red goblin creature tokens with Krenko's power. This is insane. If we already have an Arcanist out there as well, which says whenever Arcanist attacks, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with converted mana cost less than or equal to Dreadhorde Arcanist's power from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that card we put into your graveyard this turn, exile it instead. So on turn 4, we've played a Krenko, we had this down on the battlefield, we have maybe a Samet Sprint in the graveyard. What we can do with this is we can Colossus up on our Krenko, or a Giant Growth, or a Run Amok we can do right before it uses its ability. Then we Dreadhorde Arcanist, bring back another pump spell. Also, we can get like 10 tokens, 9 to 10 tokens on the battlefield really quickly with Krenko. And then he just grows and then does it again the next turn, the next turn, the next turn. And so we go really wide with this deck with Krenko. And otherwise, we're going over the top of people with our Deep Root Champions, which gets a counter whenever you cast a non-creature spell, which is like half of our deck. And then we have Lava Runner to kind of add a little bit more pressure, make sure we actually have creatures with all of our stuff. There might be a better slot than Lava Runner in here. I just wanted to at least have something else we can get down turn 1 so that we can get a little bit more damage, make our combo a little bit more consistent. It does get value because it does do damage later game when we've already filled our graveyard with a bunch of spells. We do also have a little bit of interaction. This is, again, one of the issues with this deck is that we are only running 3 cards that have interaction. We have our Shocks, we have Lightning Strike, which are basically removal, so we can get in with our creatures, or going face if we can. And then we have Heartfire, which adds additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice a creature or planeswalker, it deals 4 damage to any target. This is another great card to use with the Dreadhorde Butcher, where, you know, or if they have a removal spell after we pump something up, done something else, we can at least utilize the creature to get 4 more points of damage in. So I do like Heartfire. It is really good because it's instant speed, not quite a fling, but it does fling in for 4 damage, which sometimes with a Lava Runner, that's really good. We get 4 points of damage instead of the 2 that we would have once they tried killing it. Anyway, so that's what the deck looks like here. I did try this out on a stream earlier, and we ended up running into a ton of lands. I'm not sure if something happened with Arena. They did just barely update it, so I'm not sure if that was an issue that they were running into, just people finding lots of lands. But we were hitting half of our lands within the first like 14 cards that we drew pretty much every game. So I went down to 19 lands instead of 21, and I'm hoping that this works. I haven't actually tested it out there yet. Run Amok is really good in here as well, gives Trample as another possibility. That's the one thing we were missing is more things like this. I might go up to 4 copies of Run Amok and go down some other spells, but I wanted to make sure I can at least get stuff with Dreadhorde Arcanist. All right, I've talked a lot about these cards. Let's go ahead and get into the gameplay and see how it goes. Wish me luck.
Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to FusionGamingOnline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below.
All right, we are up against Mr. Hanky. Bring on Mr. Hanky. And we're playing our Dreadhorde Aggro deck, or Dreadhorde Aggro, I think is a fun name for this. We have no creatures for the early game. Opponent's going first, so we have a chance to draw into something good here. We don't have our black mana. This is kind of the awkward thing with this deck, is that we really want black mana for our Dreadhorde Butcher, but it's the only thing that uses black mana in our entire deck. So it's a little bit awkward there. Let's go ahead and I want to keep this just to see how it goes. We don't have anything really we want to do on turn 1, so we have a couple turns to try to find something here. Well, there's our black mana, so we do have mana to get to Krenko. Krenko by itself is really powerful, as long as it survives. The fires burning there lasts a long time with Stomping Grounds, I noticed. I'm liking, we haven't gotten to the new playmat just yet. We're gonna pass the turn. But they have a new, not a playmat, like a new arena at least, which is really, really cool looking. And so I'm excited to show that. Hopefully it comes up here soon. But let's see what opponent's doing. It shocks our face. Doesn't have anything else. All right, well, let's hope this Krenko survives. I'm kind of doubting that it will. But we need to be playing our creatures. We can Colossus and run amok to hopefully get out of any kind of burn. We're hoping to do that in response to them trying other stuff. So Woodland Cemetery is good. Get down some black mana. So we're going to go ahead and Colossus now. Actually, we're going to try swinging in and run amok and then Colossus, because we need to be able to do this in response. And we need something that's instant speed for the shock. And we do have Samet's Sprint. All right, let's go ahead and try Colossus first. We have Samet's Sprint that we can use here. All right, there we go. So full control, next, all attack, run amok before it uses its ability, submit. All right, take off control, resolve. All right, now it's an 8/7. We create 9 tokens because it gets a counter beforehand. And now we have 9 tokens and a 2/3. They do only have 1 land here, like, so they were already losing, but this just kind of showcases on turn 4 how much power we have on the battlefield. We probably ought to be bringing in Judith in here as well. That's probably what we should bring in over the Lava Runner, is a couple copies of Judith, just because they do die, and it makes all these goblins so much better where they're all 2/1s instead. But it's I don't know. So there's other ways you can go at this. I'm going to. There's also a version of this with Domri where it gives +1 to all of our creatures. We can make sure they don't get countered. Yeah, I don't know. There's some really fun things that you can do with this, and there's a lot of different versions of it that I've seen. But this one is kind of more on the game plan of making the Dreadhorde Butcher combo work. I'm not sure if we actually will make it work, but it is a possibility. All right, we are going to get down Deeproot Champion here. We already have victory. We'll go ahead and sprint here. Yeah, Butcher on top. Doesn't really matter at this point, but now we get to swing in for lethal. And this deck is just insane. Oh my goodness. So the biggest issue is we do run into, like, Krenko, you go right into board wipes oftentimes with Krenko. So you do have to hope that that doesn't happen. If they don't have it, you basically win the game against control. As long as you get 1 swing in with Krenko, it's so hard for them to come back without a board wipe. So board wipes are going to be very prevalent in any control deck. They're going to have to be. So maybe so there is another Naya version of this where you don't focus on Dreadhorde Butcher, and you just play other spells. You have Feather, things like that. And so you can have Unbreakable Formation just to give everything indestructible, or even giving one creature, like target creature, indestructible with Sheltering Light. That does work, and it's something that can happen. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the next game here. But that was really fun, even if opponent wasn't really drawing into any lands there. All right, up against Hizzo, bringing on Hizzo, and we are playing Dreadhorde Aggro. And well, we have Lava Runner, we have Deeproot Champion. I am going to keep this. I am going to pay for the Lava Runner too. We're trying to go aggressive, and we don't care about losing our life. And hopefully, we're not up against another aggro deck. We'll see. Mills a lot of the things that mills their stuff, which is good. Giant Growth, Dreadhorde Arcanus is really good, and I'm really liking where this is at. We probably will get down, let's see here. We probably will get down Dreadhorde Arcanus first, because then if we get to Giant Growth with the Deeproot Champion down, we get to do it twice, which is really cool. The issue is that Giant Growth doesn't give trample. We will block here. We want to get creatures off the battlefield. Even if they get to mill themselves, this is the Molder Hulk deck. Alright, so Woodland Cemetery. Let's go ahead and swing in. Again, we just want bodies off the battlefield at the moment. They will gladly trade, I'm assuming, yes. That's totally fine. We are trying to race here before they find their Molder Hulk, before they go crazy with everything. And they can play a Molder Hulk for basically free this next turn. But the fun thing is that our guys can get big enough to slam through it. Or past it. And so hopefully if they play the Molder Hulk here, we can still get through. Alright, there's a Krenko. Krenko's good. Alright, so we will Deep Root Champion. We want to get in damage now. We're going to have something else we can hold up in case they have a Ritual of Soot or something. I could see this deck running one of those. Let's hope they don't have removal here. Alright, so we are going to play Giant Growth onto... Oh, we can't... Alright, we're going to put it onto the Lava Runner. Get a counter onto Deep Root Champion. Alright, so they kill the Lava Runner, that's totally fine. We get a counter onto Deep Root, swing in, we get to Giant Growth again. Get another counter onto Deep Root Champion. Swing in for 4 down to 16. Pass the turn. Nice. Yeah, I know. This is a very nice deck. I like it a lot. So we're hoping for another 1-mana spell that we can play with Krenko. Because we want to make sure we get him down. We probably should have gone for it there. It would have been a pretty good target for them for Moment of Craving. The nice thing about Dreadhorde Arcanus as well is that it does have Trample. Everything else does not. We have to give it Trample. So there's a couple things you can do with this where you might want to bring in... There is also the Prophet. He's saying good game. Did he just find his Molder Hulk? Alright, so... Let's get down Kingpin. Swing in. Okay, down to 12. Pass the turn. Krenko can get wide enough if we have literally anything here. He hasn't found his finishers, and this is one of the issues with the mill deck, is that you sometimes just don't find anything actually good. We sometimes just don't find anything else here. So we can't get back this Lightning Strike. This is one of the issues with running Lightning Strikes, things like this. We also need Stony Strength in here. Oh, I forgot about Stony Strength. It's so good. We can pass the turn and wait for something bigger to come along. So we're going to play a Dragon Skull Summit, pass the turn. Stony Strength is one of the cards that we forgot here. It's a great way to make sure that we actually hit our combo. Or make our Dreadhorde Arcanus bigger so that we can play our other stuff. Alright, he's swinging in. He can get back something from the graveyard here. Does he have the Molder Hulk? He has Izoni and he has Golgari, Pinebroker. So we can block here and kill it. We could block like this and this. And Krenko can kind of just finish off the game for us. He can't do enough damage. I'm going to go ahead and try this out. This really just means that he's top decking from here on out, which is really good for us. Kills the Deep Root. Let's go ahead and get this out of our hand. So we're going to go... We could see if we can just mill more of his good stuff. Like, honestly, that might be good here. If we hit all of his Molder Hulks and they go into the graveyard, we're actually really happy about that. Alright, Giant Growth, really good here. So we are going to Giant Growth onto Krenko. We wanted it in the graveyard now. Not that it's better to do it at any other time, but... Alright, get a Giant Growth. Oh, I meant to do it onto Krenko there first. That's fine. So we missed the ability. I forgot to place him the right way there. All right, so down to 8. We have 5 tokens. We could have had 3 more there, and pass the turn. And this is again the issue with the Molder Hulk deck. You will be running into it quite a bit, but if you don't actually grit the right pieces, you don't get it. All right, there we go. Not too shabby at all. Not too shabby at all. All right, because this is a video all about testing out these decks and the format's not set totally yet, I decided to go ahead and add a few more pieces here with Burning Prophet and Stony Strength, the cards that we were just talking about. So the nice thing about Burning Prophet is that whenever you cast an on-creature spell, you also get to scry one, and it does get the +1/+0, so we at least get some value there. It is a 1/3. It helps against the aggro matchups where we still are going aggro, but we can block a lot of their creatures as well. So that is good. Stony Strength, get to put a counter on target creature you control and then untap that creature. If we are on the defense or anything like that, they or start swinging with the Butcher or something like that, we can hold this in our hand and Deep Root Champion in response, put it on a Deep Root Champion, get 2 counters, have a really big blocker, or anything else. So those are the things that we can do as well here. It gives us another spell down in the 1-drop slot. I went down a Lightning Strike for it and 2 Shocks. Again, just testing this out. This is probably the list that will be in the deck list down in the description below. But you guys can see kind of what I did beforehand. Again, we're still just deck testing, playing through all this stuff. I wanted to at least showcase what else I'm doing here. So let's play a couple more games with this one. Right up against Pidpad. Bring it on, Pidpad. And we are playing Dreadhorde Aggro. And let's see. Well, we have our colors. We don't get down Lava Runner turn 1, but we do have a lot of our pieces for the Dreadhorde Butcher plan here, the combo. We're probably going to hold on to the Samet Sprint for a while. Make sure that we can play it to maybe save his life if we can. All right, up against Control. Let's see how Control's a hard matchup for us. They just take a creature, so Dreadhorde Butcher probably gone here. The first time we finally draw it, it's going to be taken away from us right away. So frustrating. All right. Let's see how we do against Control. All right, well, let's get down Lava Runner and pass the turn. All right, Thief of Sanity. So we might just want to thud this right now. We can swing in Samet Sprint. We can pay for this and thud in. Or we can just Heartfire it. So let's go ahead and swing in. We'll probably just will Heartfire here, so deal some damage. We don't have any other creatures. This is an issue, but I think Thief of Sanity is good enough to hit. So target him, sacrifice a creature, get rid of the Thief of Sanity, pass the turn, or play Blood Crypt, pass the turn. And let's just hope we find any creature here. Okay, Arcanist is pretty good. So Cemetery, Arcanist, Samet Sprint. Play it now so he can get haste. Stony Strength is... we need other creatures, I think. I think we have to go for more creatures now. We're going to be able to put another spell into the graveyard. Let's go ahead and Giant Growth. It does have Trample. Swing in for 6. Giant Growth again. For 9. And this is a lot of damage. They do have to worry about something like this for the next turn. If we just find a Giant Growth, a Colossus, anything, they're dead. So, especially because they know that we have this thud in here. I guess maybe I shouldn't have played that. Did I have close to lethal? I would have had 6. We couldn't afford to kill the Dreadhorde Arcanist there. But if we find any pump spell, we do have the game here. I really wish this was Fling. If we had this instant speed, it would be so good. Ah, man. Is that too much to ask for? I feel like we can get a rare copy of something like this that's 1 mana instant speed thud. That would be so good. We've had Fling in the past. So this thud is fun. But I think that we need to have another copy of something like that that's a rare, that's instant speed. Maybe in other colors too. Like I feel like black is wanting to do something like that as well, where they like gain life as well for a little bit more. Gotta switch out my earbuds. After that 24-hour stream, my ears got a little tired of these things. Deep Root Champion, that was ours. All right. So what all do we have in here? We have the Samet Sprint. Krenko went to the graveyard. He didn't play the Krenko. Have blockers for us for days. I feel like that's the best way to go. I mean, this guy does get bigger with all the stuff they're doing. Krenko we will keep on top. That is a way to get back in this game if they don't have removal. Alright, so they block. Didn't read that it has trample. Love it. Alright, play Rebound Craig and pass the turn. Maybe I should have held on to that. Yeah, I probably should have held on to that. Karn, the Great Creator. What do they get from outside the card, the game? This is the one thing I'm not sure about with Karn is, right? So if they get to their next turn and they get to use that, it's really good. But otherwise, we can hit here to make him use his tick up ability, which you probably will do with the Godfarrow's statue anyway. We don't have any spell. Actually, they might have dropped something into the graveyard. Did they? No. Yeah, so we just swing in face. I guess it just gets blocked by Thief of Sanity here. They know what we have in hand, so pass the turn. Karn the Great Creator. If they have land here, then this Godfarrow's statue is really hard for us. We do have really cheap spells, though, so we're okay to pay 2 for the next few turns. Krenko, very, very good for us. Gets to swing in through Thief of Sanity. Probably can't feel it. They don't really feel like they can play it, either. Sorcerer's Spyglass. Is that just to have another cheap artifact? Because Sorcerer's Spyglass doesn't really help them at all here. We actually don't want them to have land. So take that. That's fine. They get to create more things. All right, Dreadhorde Butcher. Yep, we like that. We can thud in here as well. So we can kill Thief of Sanity if they do block the Butcher. Right, Krenko's ability. Arcanist comes in. They just block their Arcanist. That's fine. We would love to have this Butcher get bigger. In fact, now we're 1 away from lethal. All right, pass the turn. Man, I hope they don't have... Ritual of Soot is still okay. We get in 2 points of damage. I kind of doubt that they'll use it, though. All right, swings in, trying to find answers. And this is the thing is, even though Control does have board wipes, if they don't have board wipes, they're really hard-pressed to do much here. And if they're playing these more creature-type decks with artifacts, like this is a Tezzeret deck, and if they find the mana for Tezzeret here, okay, there's Cry of the Canarium, right? So we do lose out on a lot, but these guys stick around, which is so good. We still have quite a bit of damage that we're going to be able to do here. All right, they have their own Arcanist. Thud does finish up the game here for us. I guess they can block.
Say hello to my little friend.
Alright, Pump Spell. Give me Pump Spell.
Awaken.
Burning Prophet. They mill anything good here. I really wish Thief of Sanity was milling good stuff for us. Alright, all attack. We're going to go face. Keep going face. Alright, they block and block. You have no damage dealt. And they have another Cry at the Canarium. Yeah, I think we're fine. Pass the turn. They know that we have this Thud as well. Their Tezzeret doesn't gain them enough life here because it's only creatures and planeswalkers that can come in for free. If they do have the Karn, but it's one thing away from being able to get its ability over and over again. So even Tezzeret doesn't win them the game at that moment. They don't have enough artifacts to play stuff for free. Yeah, so we're in okay shape at the moment. That makes it worse. We can still Thud in here. Thud costs 2 more. So what we can do is we can Thud, Franco, Thud, Burning Prophet. So Thud. It just costs 2 more. It doesn't, at this CMC doesn't change though. So Thud. Yes, target. No, wait. No, wait. Cancel. Okay, target him. This is where I always mix it up. I feel like it's backwards from everything else you do. You target them first. Giant, it doesn't really matter here. All right, and then we swing in with all at them. Burning Prophet. Yes, Thud. Target them. Burning Prophet. Submit. There we go. All right, we couldn't do that the last turn because we were 1 point of damage off. We needed to get the goblins out. Yeah, I don't think we could have done it last turn. But there we go. That's another way we can win against control. That was not too shabby at all. All right, up against Jukes. Bringing on Jukes. We will take you on with whoever you are. All right, we have our colors. Franco turn 3, we're going to keep it. We have Run Amok, possibly double Run Amok if we find more red mana along the way here. And if Franco survives, this is insane. There we go. We would like to find some backup creatures here as well. This is an issue with this deck, because if we don't ever find it, that's a problem. Alright, pass. Yeah, 10th Street. So this is the Boros version of it, possibly Naya, which is very, very good. So let's get down our Franco. Double Run Amok here is very, very good, though. They don't have a good way to answer this. There's Feather. All right. Swings in. No blocks. All right, so now we need to hold full control. Arcanist is good. We're not going to use it now because we're just going to go in with a massive Franco. All right, so next, all attack. So in response to its token here, or its ability, submit 1, yes. All right, now take off control. Just because I've had it, it was acting a little bit weird doing that beforehand. But yeah, so we get to create 8 tokens on turn 4 again. It's so good. And we can Heartfire one of these in for lethal next turn as well. Yeah, it's good. They get to do a lot here as well. This does not have trample. I am going to block it just in case they don't have a thing to give it trample. Alright, Defiant Strike, that's fine. Gets a counter. And we have blockers for days with this deck, too. So Defiant Strike is amazing with Feather because it keeps coming back to their hand. They have a way to draw a card and grow a 10th District Legionnaire over and over again. Very, very good. It gets it back. Alright, the Arcanist comes down. We don't have anything to give it haste, so we're just going to play the Forest. Go to combat, swing all in. I believe we're going to have enough to Hearthfire. They might be able to block and go down to 5. I'm not doing the math here. They take 7, go down to 5. Yeah, so I'm guessing Defiant Strike. We could kill the Legionnaire here. So then we have enough, right? All right, so let's actually just do that because it goes to any target. So Heartfire, target you. Oh, I should have killed one of these new tokens. Oh, well. Alright, so his abilities happen. Feather's ability does happen, but we have enough. Oh, we didn't go face there. That's right. That's fine. Still, I don't know how they come back from this point. Unless they have a Fiery Cannonade. Which I don't think this deck really is going to be playing something like that. So the Jund version versus the Boros version, or not, I don't know. Pump spells are finally in, and I love it. It's so good. I do think killing that was the better thing to do. I should have killed it with one of these tokens so that I could have had 1 more point of damage come through. It's fine. This Battlefield Promotion. So So yeah, this one is really good. You get to gain 2 life over and over again with this deck. This is one of the best cards in this matchup. So if you can get the battlefield promotion, cycling through with Feather, keep growing your board, you can win against other decks. So let's go ahead and Arcanist. We don't have anything we can use with it. We'll just thud in later. And we have lethal anyway. We have enough attackers. Doesn't really matter. If they can block enough somehow, we can always thud. All right, battlefield promotion gains more life. Yep, that's fine. It's to block 2 creatures. We still have enough damage coming through here. Yep. And this is the beauty of utilizing Krenko. So if we didn't get that many tokens with Krenko, this is why Krenko is so important to this deck, is in the decks where people can gain enough life, or we don't find our trample spells, the big trample spells, or someone else is growing, which there are a lot of big creatures in this format right now. Like, I've been able to get Bioessence Hydras up to X13 on turn 4, turn 5 very consistently. So it's a very fast format, way faster than it was before. And there's a lot of good control pieces as well. So I don't know, this is just a fun deck. We're going to call it there though. All right, so that was the deck. Krenko, probably my favorite card in the format so far. Like, I absolutely love Krenko. It is my favorite card from War of the Spark. I think that is just the truth. You'll be seeing it probably a lot throughout the time here. Dreadhorde Butcher, really fun. Arcanist doing some really crazy things. They're actually a big fan of Burning Prophet. The fact that you get to scry every time you cast a non-creature spell, kind of insane actually. And it's a wizard, so we're going to be playing a wizard's deck with the Burning Prophet to be able to make sure we can scry into our actual good pieces, and just be a little bit aggro. So there is a really good wizard's deck here as well. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.